Morning guys, my name is Mark and I just want to do a quick video here. They're always quick. Usually I talk about one thing and one thing only in my videos, but I'm going to talk about a few today, so we'll address the matter. I'm just going to, whatever comes out, so that's the way it is. Not much thought into it. Let's talk about being nervous, okay? On the news, they're always posting things. Fear this, fear that, fear war, fear the silent enemy, which is COVID-19, all that stuff. So if they're not coming at you via sugar products, illicit drugs, they're coming at you, right? And it's called programming. And the more you watch something, the more you program yourself without even realizing it. So every news channel, it's always conveniently the same thing. Conveniently, right? So anyhow, if you keep watching stuff about getting sick, well, that's going to start affecting your nervous system. Because it's your central nervous system, you're going to start affecting that, and you're going to get sick. That's just the way it is. It's almost like watching videos on police brutality. You just might wind up being the one who's being brutalized. It's just the way it is. So if you keep, you're manifesting people, and one of the things with manifesting is it's programming, and these people know this, so they keep programming and fear COVID-19, fear COVID-19, fear COVID-19. It's the silent enemy. It's coming to get you, and you won't even see it coming. So all these people are living in fear, and when you're in fear, it starts attacking your central nervous system. That's why they're called, you know, things are getting on your nerves. Well, they're getting on your nerves, and so I just want to share this with you people. Like myself, like if I'm meant to die, I'm meant to die. I mean, I'm not going to run around, say, a pile of lepers or something like that and risk catching leprosy. But at the same time, like, am I scared? No. Do I care? No. Do I have better things to do with my life, like take a dog for a walk, hug a tree, string a guitar, or rewire a guitar? Absolutely. I have time for these things, right? I don't have time to be in the mind all the time, and that's why it's called thinking. And if you're thinking, well, you're thin. There's two words. There's thin and then there's king. So you're not a very fat king, right? You're not mindless. Less of the mind, less of the fear, less of the nervous central system, things getting on your nerves, you know, and something else, people, like, people are judging a lot of people and they're calling them stupid. Like they keep saying, well, the government's actions are stupid. The government's actions are not stupid. Your United States government or the government of Canada or Australia, any of these Commonwealth governments or non-Commonwealth, they've all been implemented to hijack. Like people say, well, that's against the Constitution. Well, then don't you sign up to be a citizen on a citizenship and give up your grace of God, okay? Then you're applying for rights, right? And duties. And duty means that you will do something, which usually means that duty is a tax. That's what you pay at the border when you cross the toll, right? You're paying a toll, a tax. That's why it's called a toll gate, right? Obviously, there's something being paid at that toll, and you take the G out of gate, and you have 8. So anyhow, that's why they're called brokers. You take the R out of a broker and you have broke. So you think you're going to make money on an exchange when you're getting exchanged at your X pence, which was the British form of currency, to be franc, which was the French form. So people, get out of the nervous system and realize that your governments have been hijacked. Like people say, well, we have the Constitution. No, if you've applied, L-I-E-D, it's right there. You're an applicant because you can't lie. And so if you sign up to state that you're a citizen on a ship with a birth certificate, well, then you've given up the grace of God, and effectively now you're under the Uniform Commercial Code, the UCC. So you can't be, it's like sitting on the fence and being a double agent. You can't be a double agent. You're either on this side of the fence or on this side of the fence. If you're sitting on the fence, eventually a good windstorm or somebody's going to come and they're going to push you off that fence and it's going to hurt. So the laws of double agency don't apply here, okay, people? So effectively, just know this, that, you know, even Saint Corona, Google Saint Corona, and you'll find out that basically she is the saint of all pandemics. The odds of that. She was standing up also for a brother in arms who was supposedly very ill or sickly ill, and so they tied her to 2 palm trees and uprooted her and split her in half, and because they considered her an enemy of the state because she stood up for a brother in arms. And effectively, you know, what is she used for? She's used to invoke treasure hunting, money, stuff like that, right? Gambling. So she's used to invoke fear and money. So why is that? Don't you find it funny that it's St. Corona, like all these things, it's the Sun this, Sun that, Sun Life Insurance, Sun Newspapers, Sun, it's all pagan bullshit. So anyhow, people, getting back to this, you know, it's all fear. Like, you people are running around going, well, I have rights. Well, rights come from man, and right comes from writing with a pen. And where would they put you after they give you a jail sentence? In jail, by using a pen. They'll call it a penitentiary. And then meanwhile, stores are because you'll owe with a pen. You'll always owe with a pen. And stores are pen for business. And like I say, you'll do something and they'll put you in a penitentiary. It's all the spell. That's why it's called sentence structure, or a death sentence, for God's sakes. You see where I'm coming with this, people? All you have to do is open up your eyes, and the real eyes, not real lies, okay? And that this is all bullshit. So effectively, I'm not going to go on too much, but with this whole COVID-19, it's the silent enemy. And then at the same time, you know, people are living in fear, and they watch, you watch the news and it's 1,000 channels and they all reiterate, and it's always the same bullshit. COVID-19, 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 COVID-19. People, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical expert, I know nothing about this stuff, nor do I care, but everybody now, speaking of experts, they're expert, they're not proper, they're not proper, they're all talking about things that they know nothing of. And all of a sudden, these people at all these jobs and factories and stuff, well, they're medical experts. Oh, stay 6 feet away. Like, how do they know? They only know because that's what they've been told. So they know nothing about the facts. They're just going off what they're told. And even back to taxes and stuff, why people pay these is beyond me. Like, if I said to you, hey man, you owe me $5 million bajillion for nothing, you turn around and say, you know what, pal, go F yourself. That's what you'd say. You'd be like, go fuck yourself, pal. Okay, like, you know, so why is it that people pay taxes, you know? And they're paying taxes to corrupt governments who claim that they run off the Constitution when they don't. They run under the UCC, which has allowed these governments to hijack people into believing that they're citizens. And the whole thing is preposterous. Like, if you're a citizen, you fall under the UCC, not the Constitution or the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. So how dare you people run around and say, well, we have rights. Well, of course you have rights, and you have duties, and you'll pay for those duties. It's like breaking the law. They say it's illegal to go and kill somebody, but then all of a sudden, magically, if you apply for a license and join the military and get a license in the military, well, now it's legal to kill people. Come on, people. Do you see a spell going on with their laws? It's a double standard here. Thou shalt not kill unless you're in this case and then you want to kill. Well, then you just join the army. So this is no disrespect to armies. Armies were meant to protect your land, not to land overseas on other people's land and stir up shit. That's called war. That's called being up in arms. And arms are a bad thing, people. You don't need them. So anyhow, I just want to espouse this again. Get out of the fear and stop, stop watching all these news sources, and all of a sudden everybody's an expert. Well, I believe, my belief, and if I take the F out of belief, I have 2 words, be and lie. So I'm be-lying in something that people tell me when I'm not even a medical expert. I'm not even a doctor in this area. And all these people all of a sudden are doctors, and oh my God, watch out, you're going to catch this. Like, people, if I'm meant to drop right now, I'll drop right now. I have no problem with it. I really don't give a shit. I'm not going to live my life in fear. And that's that. Is it to say I'm going to go jump into a pool of acid, battery acid? No, I'm not. But to say the least, you know, I'm not going to be totally retarded. Maybe there's some truth in the matter, but these people are always coming at you with silent weapons of war, whether it be subversion, by programming, you know. It's like, it's like me sharing, I don't know, heroin with somebody, and they think I'm their best friend because I'm sharing heroin with them. Literally all do they know is that I'm trying to destroy them so I can take over everything they own. So I turn them into a junkie. And is that a friend? Obviously not. So it's subversion, people, and you have to get out of the subversion and look up that term, right? Because they're subverting you, you know. It'd be like some hot chick looking to ruin your life, and the government sets her up, and next thing you know, she's taking you out on dates, and you're thinking, oh, this woman's really interested in me, and all she's interested in doing is obtaining information about you and destroying your life, because that's what she's been told. She has a job to do, right, which is public mismanagement of funds for private dishonesty and gain. You look up job, and this is what we have, people. Everybody's doing their job. Maybe it was an inside job. That's a dictionary definition out of Webster's, for God's sakes. Webster, stirred in a web. You're on the web on the computer. It's part of deceit, a web of deceit, right? It's part of the net plan, right? You live on a plan net, right? It's all part of the net plan. And what do you get after? At the end of the week, a net pay, for God's sakes. Like, people, I can't make this shit up. All you have to do is look at things and Google Saint Corona. And like, again, she was the pandemic of all, she's the saint of all pandemics. And where was she buried? Where were her remains supposedly buried? In Italy. So this starts off in China, and then all of a sudden, well, it booms in Italy. People, nothing is new under the sun, and all these people are using a spell, and you look up spell in a dictionary and it's a curse, and then they're going to school to learn how to spell in. So they're getting put into a spell, and they don't even realize it, and they might call it cursive writing, and at the end of the day, you'll get out of line, they'll tell you to toot palm trees, and they'll give you a death sentence. That'll be your sentence structure. Okay, you know, so we're all running around with cell phones. Where would they put you again? You're comprised of cells. They would put you in a cell block. Like, people, you know. The apple's the forbidden fruit. It has a bite taken out of it, yet everybody's going apeshit over Apple products. You know, it's proprietary nonsense. But anyhow, so get out of the spell. Stop watching all these videos going, oh, COVID-19, COVID-19, COVID-19. Like, they can't even talk about anything else. They can't talk about how we helped a neighbor today and gave him a tomato sandwich or something. We can't talk about that, good God. And even then, you know, things that should be legal are illegal, like helping your neighbor and feeding your neighbor. Why is this? But yet when the government says jump, everybody's, oh, absolutely, I'll just suck your ass. Well, I'm sorry, people. I don't bow to man. I bow to the Creator, okay? So let's get that straight. You follow me? You savvy? So anyhow, I'm going to leave it at that. I could babble for hours, but effectively, you guys keep watching this shit. It'll attack your central nervous system. It'll eventually start getting on your nerves, and you'll find yourselves getting sick because you're manifesting this. If all you do is watch something about getting sick, you will change your biological structure. And trust me, people, you will start getting sick. Talk to some ice in your freezer every day. Tell one block it's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. Tell the other block it's ugly. And watch that ice take on a deformity that will not be conducive, okay? So it's the same thing, people. What you keep telling yourself is what you're going to get. And if you keep living in fear, thinking that you're going to contract something, you will catch something. Mark my words, okay? And again, words, you take the D and the S out of words and you have war. You add an S to word and what do you have? Sword. It's all a war of words, people. Get out of the spell, come out of Babylon, blah, 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 babble, 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 unless you want to partake in her sins, you know. Speaking of sins, you like to gamble, you go to a casino, see a sin, and oh, you will owe with your sins at a casino. The words are right there, and then people apply for sin numbers, social insurance numbers. The acronym tells you all right there. And then they'll send you a piece of paper saying, thank you for applying for your, get this, not your first social insurance number, your first sin. People, get out of the spell, come out of Babylon, stop watching this garbage. Oh, can this be email overload? Oh, can this be email overload? Oh, can this be email overload from ABC to CBC to Fox to CNN to, oh my God, people. And all these people, they all talk about things and they never do anything, and all they have to do is absolutely nothing. You don't like Shell gasoline, everybody stops shopping at Shell tomorrow, and you'll find out who dictates the prices of gas, okay? It's this simple. simple, people. We don't have to live in such a dirty world. If people would simply form a community instead of, well, I better have 100 rolls of toilet paper because if my neighbor gets one, heaven forbid, I don't get a chance to wipe my ass or my kid's ass. Like, really, people, we can do better than this. Let's put the C back into community. And you know, let's see how things go. Stand up, start sticking up for what's right. You don't even have to do anything. You stop watching these news sources and they'll all be out of a job. They're all whores, they're all experts, they're expert, they're not pro-per, and it's all perverse. They're perverts with their verses. Perverse, pervert, right? And they're all perverts with their verses, and they're all getting paid to tell you the same thing. Me, I don't make an ounce of money off this. I make nothing out of this. I just do these videos simply because I love you people. Even the shitheads out there like Donald Trump and Justin Trudeau, they're just hired monkeys who are there to steal. And meanwhile, you think you fall under Constitution law, but you don't. You fall under the UCC because you've agreed to apply to be an applicant so you can be a citizen. The Creator never asked you to be a citizen, and what is a legal identity? It's something that is a fiction. Why would you create a legal identity to now say that you are this person? And you look up the definition of slave and it says a person who is the property of another, for God's sakes, like people. The words, you take the D and S out, the war is there. The words are there in these dictionaries. And again, get out of the web. Get out of Webster's, stirred in a web of deceit. Get out of the planet, the net plan. And then they pay you with a gross paycheck. You know why? Because it's gross. Right? It's like groceries. They're gross. They tell you. You take the P out of pharmacy and you have harm. You take the S and K out of skill and you have ill. You take the K out of kill and you have ill. You live in a village, you take the V out, ill age. Right? It's like management. Manage men. You're not supposed to manage men. Right? You will manage yourself. Okay? You will age yourself. So get out of the spell. Come out of Babylon. Just know that I love you all. I'm not saying whether COVID-19 is real or not. I don't know. I'm no medical expert. I've never seen these examinations slash tests under a microscope. So how the hell would I know? Then I'm going to run around telling everybody, watch out for COVID, when I don't even know whether this exists or not until myself. When I see it under a microscope and I see that culture and I see it mutate, then we'll be on fire. But till then, I don't buy anything that all these paid whores get told to tell me. COVID-19, I'm paid to tell you. COVID-19, I'm paid to tell you. Wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. You're getting brainwashed, people. And take the B out of brain and you have rain. Right? You're getting rainwashed. Wash, rinse, repeat. Like, people, I can't make this shit up. So anyhow, I send everybody green lights. Just know that I love you all. I truly do. I don't care who you are. I hope peace finds your heart. And, you know, stop living in fear. You take the F out of fear and you have ears. And they're all talking, filling up your ears. Okay, people? So anyhow, get out of the spell. Know that I love you. Till then, keep your heads up, your sticks on the ice. Peace. Cheers. Bye.